What's up, everybody? Welcome back. So I have been doing a lot of testing lately, and honestly, I've been kind of preaching how Shaak Ti is a really great lead for clones, and I talked about that in my Zeta priorities yesterday, how you fit her Zetas in there. And one of the things I was thinking is that, Shaak Ti is great because you have that protection regeneration, but there's another leadership that works really well, especially when you combine with another character, and that is Captain Rex when you combine him with a Zeta Barriss. Now, what happens here is that you get that big bonus from the Rex leadership. With the Rex leadership, all 501st clone allies, they get 40% max health. If it's just a regular clone or 501st, they get 20%, and other allies get half that or 10%. But then you also have this old thing where they gain bonus turn meter when allies sustain critical hits. So 15% for Clone Trooper allies, half that for other amounts, but then you combine that with the Zeta on Barriss, and honestly, this is nothing new. This is something that we have seen before, well before, but what has changed is the rework with the clones, and honestly, I've got to say, I'm super impressed with this team. I was doing testing all night, did some more this morning. It's incredible what you can do with this team. With the Zeta on Barriss, you get the bonus healing whenever they sustain critical hits, 20% of their max health, and then Barriss also gains 10% turn meter on top of that as well. So she gets 7.5% from the Rex leadership, and then another 10% through her unique. She's going to move pretty often, so that's useful, and then of course she's also able to cleanse debuffs when she moves, and gains bonus turn meter with that as well. Barriss moves very quickly with this, probably as fast as the clones, which is great. So Barriss plus the Rex lead with that Zeta on her unique, it is absolutely incredible. It's probably one of the better offensive teams that you can put together for clones now. So the Rex lead with his 501st buddies with with Fives and Echo, and then Barriss, and then I'm actually putting Shaak Ti in that 5th slot. I'm still using her on the team. I have the Zeta on her unique, which gives your team counter chance, which is going to be very helpful for one of the teams that we're going to fight here in a moment. But then also, I can still use her ability with cleansing and the debuffs on Clone Trooper allies. I can boost one of them at 100% turn meter, which I'll usually use on Rex to keep him going and get his Annihilate out quicker. But then also I can get these different bonuses, and then also train exercise ability, which will give 35% health and protection back to a clone. I'm not using her lead, so I'm losing out on the protection regeneration, so I'm kind of using this to really help speed her up. And of course, she does also gain bonus turn meter on her own. Whenever Shaak Ti or Clone Trooper ally takes damage, she gains 20% turn meter, plus the Rex leadership on top of that. This team moves fast. Everyone on the team has a lot of bonus turn meter flying around with them between Rex, the Zeta, or the unique on Barriss, and then the unique on Shaak Ti. Everyone's going to move pretty fast, and that is fantastic. As we go into the footage here, you'll see in a minute that this is going to be able to counter a lot of your better defensive teams. We're talking Geonosians, General Grievous, CLS, if you guys still see him out there. The only teams that I really still have a problem with are Padme and Darth Revan. But those are kind of a given because, Padme's great against a lot of assists, and Darth Revan's just Darth Revan. So let's go ahead and let's dive into the first team here. So as we go into the battle against Geonosians here, usually Geonosians, they actually destroy a Shaak Ti lead team. This is something I found out before, but now that we have this Rex lead with Barriss in there, it's actually going to be a lot more manageable. We will supercharge the team at the beginning, get that turn meter up, the tenacity and everyone, and that just allows our whole team to pretty much go first, and then we're just gonna start just wrecking the enemy team. But I'm gonna use Shaak Ti to constantly supercharge the turn meter on Rex here, so I can keep him going and still do a lot of damage. We're gonna call assist here with Echo because he does a lot of damage too, and then we'll also just get some AoEs out here that really helps damage the enemy team. That is the trick here, is that you want to start using the AoE from Echo. It does a lot of damage on his own, especially once you get offense up, but Echo is really going to help you kind of wear down the protection, and that's the goal here, is that you really want to go for the protection regeneration, or kind of eliminate the protection on the enemy teams, because that's what you're going to get a lot of your damage from. So you can see here that, look at that, we could have lost Rex there, but the Zeta on Barriss is just keeping the team up. We'll heal everything up, and we'll get offense on our team, and we'll just keep going here on those enemies. So we will just kind of wear down the Geonosian Brute. And you can see he's at gear 13, which can cause some problems, but the goal is to just keep wearing down that Brute until we can get rid of him. And you can see that we're doing some pretty solid damage here and really wearing down the protection on the enemy team. They're almost down at 0% now. And then I'm gonna save the Annihilate from Rex here until I can get a clear shot at Brute Alpha, because that's what I want to go for. I need to make sure that I can get rid of Brute Alpha as quickly as possible once I get Brute down. I'll use the emergency heal here to get Rex back up, because they're really going after poor Rex, and then just keep wearing down that Brute as best I can. So it's kind of straightforward at this point. You really just need to keep going for that Brute, and you can see that still doing some pretty solid damage against him, just wearing him down as best as I can. And I mean, that's really all you have to do, is just keep going for that poor guy. And you can see they're really trying to put the hurt on Rex there. There we go. Did some really solid damage there. And you can see that once you get those AoEs going with Echo, it's really going to do a lot of damage as well. So, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just keep going after that Brute. That's really what it is. It's just a game of going after Brute and just getting rid of him. Once he's gone, it's going to be a whole lot easier, because then you can quickly get rid of Brute Alpha and just wipe out some of the other characters. So, we'll just keep going here. Eventually, we will get to it. In fact, I could probably just kill Brute and go for some of the other characters at the same time, but I want to make sure I can make this as clean as possible without too much of a worry. But you can see what's going on is that the enemy Geonosian team really not moving a lot, because, you know, Brute is countering so often, he's getting so many critical hits, and it's just charging the turn meter on my team. And there we go, it's gone now. And yeah, at this point, you just you take out whoever you need to take out. We'll take out Sunfac. It's just getting rid of the Brute, getting rid of Alpha at the same time, and that's all you really have to do. So at this point, it's pretty straightforward. We'll take out Poggle, and then we take out Geonosian Spy, and there it is. 5 of 5. There was a little bit of scary time where Rex almost died there, but that Zeta on Barriss really helped change things up there. So overall, not too bad. Very solid counter for Geonosians if you don't have your Jawas ready to go. Plus, this is something great for like Territory Wars or Grand Arena, where you need to get those high banner counts. This is something to consider, because, you know, your Jawas, you're usually going to lose half your Jawa teams. This is a good solid counter for Geonosians to keep in mind for the future. So the next team I have to show for you guys is actually against General Grievous. Now, the one that I'm fighting against is just Grievous at gear 13. The other ones are back at gear 12. But this is actually a pretty easy fight to have once all the droids are at gear 13, and you'll see why as we go through the fight. The goal is to not let Grievous reset with his unique, where he gets the cooldowns reset. You don't want to have that happen. So if the enemy droids are at gear 13, it's actually a whole lot easier for you to defeat those droids and the Grievous team as a whole, because you don't want Grievous going crazy, because even with Barriss there and the boosted health with your team, you can still get some serious damage done to you by that General Grievous. So you don't want him resetting his cooldowns, you don't want that AoE going off, so you want to make sure that you can actually keep the enemy droids alive until you can finally get the Annihilate with Rex. You're biding your time for Rex with his Annihilate, much like you are with Geonosians with the Annihilate on Alpha as soon as Brute is dead. It's the same kind of trick here. You really want to make sure that you get an easy shot at Grievous, wipe him out, and once he's gone, it's a whole lot easier for you to win. And you can see here that we almost lose Rex, but then we'll just go ahead and use Barriss to heal him back up, and we'll call it a day. But in the meantime, we're just kind of spraying damage around, trying to wipe out some of the protection on the enemy characters until we can finally get rid of the of General Grievous with that aerial ability from Rex. That's the whole goal here, and it's pretty straightforward. You know, use the abilities with Rex to help boost his turn meter, use Shock T to call assist with Rex to help boost his turn meter. That's what you want to go for here. You want to make sure you can get that Annihilate ability pretty quickly. You can see here, we had the reset with Grievous, and that almost wrecked our team here. So that is something that you have to be very careful of. And of course, I also screwed up there by doing a lot more damage to Grievous than I intended. But it's gonna still be the same thing overall. Just use the abilities with Rex, and then you also see the emergency heal there with Shock T. But then we get Illuminated Destiny with BB-8. and that could potentially become a problem. That's never really a good thing, but we'll go ahead and just kind of keep working down some of these characters, see if we could possibly get rid of Grievous. And here we're going to lose Barriss, which is fine. And this is one of the tricky things, is that if you're not playing this correctly, yeah, you're going to lose 2 or 3 characters if it's gone really badly. But there you go. We were able to finally get rid of Grievous, annihilate him, and then we can finish off the rest of the characters here. Overall, pretty easy, and yeah, like I said, if it's full gear 13, this is actually going to be a lot easier for this Rex Zeros team, and that's actually kind of impressive, because usually when the team is at a higher gear level, it's supposed to be more difficult, but it's actually a lot easier for this Rex team. So keep that in mind. If you're facing a full gear 13 General Grievous team out there, and you can see we had BB-8 in this lineup as well. This is a new lineup that I'm seeing from a lot of guilds. BB-8 with that charged Terminator at the start of the match. He can also taunt. It gives you a second taunt on the team. You know, he's very useful in this team with General Grievous. So that is something to keep in mind. But yeah, Gear 13, more health protection on the droids. A lot easier for you to not to avoid the resets on Grievous and then annihilate him at the right time and then just finish him off and then wipe out the rest of the droid team. You can easily get 20 banners with this team if you play it correctly. So this is just something that I think is really interesting, that you can get it with a better geared team. You're going to get a better chance at a higher score. So this is something to keep in mind with this Rex and Zeros team as well, is that they can easily work against a General Grievous team, especially when that's really well geared. Now for what may have been one of the most sloppy wins I've ever had, and honestly, until you get that Zedon Echo, not exactly a reliable one, but this is definitely something to keep in mind. Jedi Knight Revan teams. You know, Revan teams have a lot of critical hits on them. They are going to charge the turn meter with your team very easily. So it's a team you can definitely use, and you can see I don't have the Zeta on Echo. If I had the Zeta on Echo, this fight would have been over a whole lot quicker, because with the Zeta on Echo, with a Foresight, it's going to do 20% max health damage. That's something to keep in mind. So that's kind of something to remember, is that with that Zeta on Echo and getting rid of all that Foresight so quickly, you can easily wipe out the enemy team. That's something nice, but again, not exactly an optimal fight without that Zeta. This is something that could really come back to bite you if you're not careful, and I could have easily lost Shock T there. Shock T looks like she's about to go without any provocation. You know, just one good hit from Grandmaster Yoda and she's done. But you can see that I triggered Savior on Grandmaster Yoda early on so that I could get rid of the Savior ability and then just go straight for Jolie and try to wipe him out. Though, of course, the problem here is that we're getting a lot of bound meditation with everybody, so that could become a problem. But the goal here is to, again, use the Annihilate ability from Rex, wipe out Jolie, and then go from the other characters. Lose Shock T here, but think about all of the times I could have really dealt damage to the enemy team if I just had that Zeta on Echo with this. And you can see here we're getting a lot of Foresight with him, and you know that could have been a lot of free damage very easily. And this is the one big drawback against these Jedi Knight Revan teams. Until you get that Zeta on Echo, definitely not a clean fight at all. This is not going to be an easy fight to win. And once you get that Zeta, it's pretty much a cakewalk at that point. But yeah, this is just to show you guys that it is possible without that Zeta on Echo, but definitely not one I really recommend, because it can really screw you over if you're not careful. Got rid of Echo, or got rid of Yoda, and now we're going for Jedi Knight Revan. We'll go ahead and, yeah, we'll just go ahead and annihilate him as well. Easy, very easy. But and then we just finally have Basta left, but 5 is about 2 seconds from dying. So yeah, this is not an easy one. Kind of sucks that we lost Barriss, because I could have used her heal right here, but we'll just go ahead, kill Barriss here in a moment, and that's gonna be it. So this is something I highly recommend that you have the Zeta on Echo for. If you don't, really don't recommend going against the Jedi Knight Revan team. As you can see here, still not very good. So yeah, do keep that in mind, is that, yeah, you're gonna need the Zeta for Echo here, but the Rex team, with the charging of the turn meter and the leadership with Jedi Knight Revan and the crit chance there, this is another good counter that you can use your clones against for the future. And yeah, this is something that I think a lot of people are going to use as well, because you need a solid Jedi Knight Revan counter. Zeta on Echo plus that Rex lead plus Zeros in there. This could become a very, very solid Jedi Knight Revan counter for the future. So yeah, showing you some really solid testing I've had. Oh, Maddie does not. You want to say hi to everybody? No, she does not. Poor Maddie. I was trying to trying to just pet on her, love on her, but she does not want to be up here right now. Pretty much, this is just a showing of how solid a Rex-led team with Xerath on there can be. The healing with Xerath, the boosted Terminator with Rex lead, it allows your clones to move so often, and you have Shock T with her emergency healing and everything. This is a very, very solid offensive team. Can beat just about anything that's not Padme and Darth Revan. So this is definitely a team that I think a lot of people should be using for offense if you're not placing them on defense. You know, they are very solid for defense as well, but this overall is just an incredibly good offensive team. So let me know down in the comments, what do you guys think about this team? Do you like the potential with it? Do you guys want to see something else with it? What else would you guys want to see with clones? Let me know down in the comments. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. I will talk to you guys later.